Hello. Here we're going to install some tools to do some data moshing. We're going to get these tools on GitHub. So we're going to install this repository from GitHub on our computers. And it'll show you some things you can do in the terminal. So this is the URL, github.com. We're going to go to this user called Nick Anastasov into a repository called datamosh. So Nick Anastasov, this is the user. He has different repositories, and the one we're using is datamosh. Easy data moshing with Python. Data moshing uses FFmpeg. Here's a quick example of what data moshing is. It's working with these artifacts from video compression. We've seen stuff like this before. It's very glitchy. Here's another nice example. It uses the motion vectors from one video and the texture image pixel data from another video, and uses the motion from video A to move the pixels from video B. So that's the basic idea of this data moshing stuff. So to install it, we're just going to follow these steps. First of all, we want to download this whole repository. We can do this in the interface. Just download the zip file here. I'm already here. And I already have a copy, but that doesn't matter. That's why it's called number 2. We're going to go into terminal, and we will change directory, cd, into this directory, this data moshing directory. So I just drag the folder into the terminal, cd space, and then the path to this folder, and I hit enter. And now it should say something like this, with the name of the folder before the %sign. If you type ls, it should list all the files that are inside of here. So these files are listed here. Okay, now first step is to install the requirements. So what we have here in this folder is basically Python code, these .py files. And there's a file called requirements that lists all the required libraries we need. And to install all these libraries, we can just type what it says here, pip install -r requirements. Pip install -r requirements. Now, instead of typing out requirements.txt, I can just type the first few letters and then hit tab on my keyboard, and it'll autocomplete this name, less typing. Enter. And this should do something. Okay. This is already installed. Therefore OS, okay, found for OS. So if you do pip install OS, it says the same. So now here you can try pip 3 install. So it's always a thing with Python. There's Python 2 and Python 3. So if you do pip 3 install, no, same. Oh, let's see. Maybe we don't need it. Now this script uses FFmpeg. We've already installed that in the last tutorial. You can check that you have it by typing FFmpeg, and you should get a message like this. Now we need more. We need to install ffedit and ffgack, which can be downloaded from here. So let's go here. This sends us to another website with more data moshing, glitchy video stuff. And we're just going to download the binaries, the applications basically. I'm downloading them for Mac. Here we go. And this is what we need. Now, I thought there were some instructions on how to install them. I can't find them right now. Read me here. Well, it doesn't say. Basically, we have to move these two guys into a folder called bin. So on your computer, here we are, computer, user file. You have in your home directory, which has your name or the name of your user, you have a bunch of files. You have documents, desktop, all of that stuff. But you also have hidden files, which can't be seen. For example, the library folder can't be seen here. You can access it by going here, go, hitting the option key, and then library magically appears. And you can go in here, okay? You see how it's a grayed out folder. It's because it's invisible. And there are more invisible files and folders like this. There's, for example, a folder called bin. Here, I made it visible, so you can do the same. You can go into your home folder and create a new folder and just call it bin. This will create an empty folder in here, and then you can drag these files into there. You can take the QJS too. So it should look something like this. Now you go back into the terminal, and if you look at the description here, it says, don't forget to add those 3 files to your path. Adding a file or a binary to your path allows you to call that binary by typing its name into your terminal. If I type ffedit, it will start this ffedit file. And that's not happening on your computer yet because it's not in the bin folder. So we're going to add it to the path. And to add something to the path, you have to check if your terminal is running on ZSH, such as mine, which is the case on modern or more recent versions of OS X, or if it runs in bash, BASH, as it does in most older versions of OS X. So if you're in CSH, make sure you go back to your home directory. So you go cd, change directory, and type tilde for home, and this should take you home. Okay, if I type ls, I see desktop, documents, all that stuff. So I'm in my home folder. Once you're in your home folder, we're going to edit a file, and to start the text editor in the terminal, you type nano, that's the name of the text editor, and now the name of the file. And the name of the file is dot, in my case, CSH RC. If you're on bash, it'll be bash RC. Okay, CSH RC. And enter, and now I'm in my file. Now I'm in the text editor. I have a menu down here, sort of, and I have the file here. So I go all the way to the end of the file, and on the last line, after all the stuff that's in there, if something's in there already, you type export path equal tilde/bin, that's the folder we created, colon, $path. And make sure all the caps and stuff is exactly as it is here. And you can type enter if you want. And then to save this file, you're gonna hit Control X, and oops, I didn't change anything, so it didn't ask me here. Can we change something? I just add an empty line. Now it says modified up here. So Control X. Now it asks me if I want to save my changes. So I just type Y, letter Y for yes. Now it will ask me for the name to write, and it suggests the existing name. So we're not going to change that. We'll just use the existing name. So you just hit enter, and now it just wrote our changes into the same file we just used. And now if you type ffedit, you should get something like this. If you type ffgac, you should get something like this. And with this, you should have all the stuff installed to run our data moshing examples.